A warm welcome to Avatar Live viewers. Today we are going to meet a first generation entrepreneur, a person with vision of inclusive and sustainable infrastructure development. He was from Kellogg University and started this Mark Group. Now he is running a big port in India called Karaikal Port. So we are going to meet Mr. GRK Reddy, Chairman and Managing Director of Mark Group. Vanakkam sir. Thanks for accepting to meet. Always we believe that in 1995 when you started MARG, you kept one vision very strong, that is sustainable development. You want cities of wisdom. You wrote the book also, and Abdul Kalam also appreciated you a lot. So is it possible now? Is it it will happen real, or it's going to be a dream?
See, when you look at the urbanization as a concept in India, especially after the Y2K 1990 is where the lot of software jobs have been created, and at the time that continued, even it's continuing till now. India is because of our youth and plus the lot of educated youth, and also they are very good in English communication, and plus they had the very good bent of mind, and plus that attitude which our youth demonstrates. They are the best for the calculations, they are best for the solution oriented technology and solution oriented approach. So that made India to really be at the forefront for a lot of Fortune 500 companies, whether they are from Europe or US or from Far East or Middle East. So that has given a boom for the urbanization. So almost 30 million direct and indirect jobs have been created because of the IT and software. So but what happened, all that was required in a very short time. That's why if you see Chennai, everything happened in OMR, everything happened in GST Road, everything happened in Ambattur, only 3 locations. Even if you see in Delhi, it has happened in Gurgaon or in Noida, or in Bangalore, it happened in Whitefield, and in Hyderabad it's Cyber City, or in Calcutta in Salt Lake. So very few locations have suddenly grown into a massive concrete jungles in the 15-20 years. So there I think we lost, the last 20 years we lost the sustainability as a concept, especially when we are seeing the economic activity happening. I think now after the corona, which is primarily it has come as a invisible virus because of the habits, the people always say the immunity levels when you are in a dense concrete jungle, because of you are not exposed to the nature, you are not exposed to biodiversity, and too much of a radiation going on in the mobile phones, and so your immunity levels are certainly not great when this kind of a invisible virus hits you. So I think now the sustainable, not the development, I think the life itself will be a reset button. We all have to look at it, how we can be more sustainable in our habits, lifestyle habits, or our work habits, or our business models.
So what are the 3 important reset button they have to apply? So when it comes to government, when it comes to the public, and again comes to the industrialist or business people.
See, we always seen in the last 2 decades, we have seen the concept of disruption. So disruption we have seen happening in the telecommunication industry. That's why you have seen the iPhones coming in, or the smartphones coming in, and we have seen the disruption in entertainment industry, that Netflix or in Amazon, OTT platforms. So we have seen the disruption in the transport industry, like you have seen Ola, Uber. I think now this corona has reset the button for disruption in business models, disruption in social leadership, disruption in political leadership, disruption in governance, disruption in the way we work. I think it's a disruption for the lifestyle disruption, I would call it. So it affects the government, it affects the social aspects, and it affects the environmental aspects, it affects the business models. I think this is a disruption actually disruption always gives a good.
The Chennai has a good advantage of doing this disruption or reset, or we lost that bus.
See, Chennai, for various reasons, if you see in the last decade, the OMR is one development, what has happened on GST, or you have this Ambattur. But Chennai, one city in India, if you look at, still we have that core of the cultural. Still, we have a lot of cultural and a lot of activities, cultural activities, whether it's a temple activities or it's spiritual activities or the music or arts. We have that fundamental core very strong in Chennai. And good or bad, last one decade, we never grown like Bangalore, or we never grown like Delhi, or we never grown like Hyderabad. So no much, damage has happened to our fabric of, which is weaved around the culture, society, and a lot of intellectual.
That's
crowd.
one good advantage.
That's one good advantage we have. And plus, our city has a good, long coastline. If you see the south to, we have good coastline for a city. And plus, we have a good arterial roads. You have OMR, you have ECR, you have Punnamalai High Road and Mount Road. So city goes out. I think so. It still has that advantage to, and we have good lung spaces. You have the water bodies. You have the rivers. All that. But we need to work on it to actually regenerate all this.
So coming to taking the advantage of Chennai. Is it possible seeing the clean water in Coombe River? It's practically possible because a lot of governments have tried it.
It is like the clean water. It is a movement of the people. One is the government, definitely people's movement also. So where is the water coming into the Coombe? It's coming from the daily waste, waste of the people using, homes using, and it goes over there. Now on the solid waste management, people are segregating, the bio waste, all that they are segregating. On the water front, I think some sort of a, we set up the treatment plants, at least about 20 locations, wherever it's the water is getting into the river. There we set up the, the sewerage treatment plants, small format treatment plants. They treat it and go back for the greenery. So mainly along with all the water bodies, if you are able to plant a lot of trees, they will be able to take the treated water, immediately goes to trees, balance water, it can, and becomes like some sort of a, where it will hold the earth. If you plant trees along the rivers, it will hold the sand, it will hold the soil, so that the soil erosion will not happen.
Coming back to your starting point, you studied in Kellogg, and you were from finance background. Actually, you were into advisory group, finance advisory group kind of. Why you entered into real estate?
See, I spent my initial years in the financial services industry, and then I found financial services is something which is basically you are not creating any value addition over there. If you do any infrastructure projects like building a port or doing any real estate in a sustainable manner, you will create a value addition which will lasting for a long time. And whereas financial services industry is, it's a different kind of a approach to that. I found, with my background where I come from, that may not really gel with me. So that's what I choose to be in the infrastructure and
to create some impact in the society.
Yeah, right.
With your project. That's a good. And Karaikal Port is the best example for that. You already crossed 11 years, and the 12th year you are going to enter. And what are the innovative green activities you have done there? So for sustainable development?
We have been in the real estate industry for a long time, and we initially did some projects, but later on we realized that we did IT parks, and then we did some residential projects. Then whenever we are discussing with the IT park companies, they were all thinking how I can travel, how we can bring a lot of people working, each building 2,000 people, how many buses we have to bring, how to feed them, this kind of a thought process was there. Then we thought we should create a place where people can live, work, and play and learn. That kind of a ecosystem which was there initially when we set up the industrial cities, like Jamshedpur is one industrial city, or Pune is there, BHL in Dehradun and Trichy. So we had the townships for industrial townships were there, but we never had these IT townships. When the 2K started the boom, if you could have created the IT townships, then it could have been a very good sustainable model wherein people would have lived there, worked there, played there, educated there. Then the attrition rates also will be very less, and they will be part of a biodiversity. Then the creativity, innovation could have been a different model. So we thought that's very important. So that's why we created a township, this Swarnabhumi township, where people can live, work, and play and do that.
So how is it going, sir? Like the people able to support that?
Because any projects of this kind of a nature, it has not caught the imagination of the companies. So primarily today you have a models where people are linear. They would like to follow what has been followed in the last say 2 decades. It's difficult for them to choose a place where slightly far away, and plus this kind of a model took a very long time, and also we are not seeing the growth happening in the economy also last 10 years. So it has got into challenging situations. Now in the last 6 to 9 months or 1 year, people were talking about the kind of a ecosystem development model with the Prime Minister's vision of smart cities, urbanization as a concept. What kind of urbanization will sustainable urbanization is the discussion happening in the last 5 years. And now with this kind of a challenging situations coming in, I think people would like to get into that kind of a. So we are much ahead of times, I would say.
What kind of lifestyle or life will get if a middle class family move there, take an apartment and stay there? What are the unique things they can experience?
If you look at in terms of the working class population, working class or the IT or corporate people or manufacturing or anyone, so they would like to have a place to the combination of the places, the playgrounds, and then they should have the community places, greenery they should see, and they should expose to the sunrise, sunset, and so when you connect to the nature, automatically your thought process will be different. Instead of passing through a traffic with congestion, with pollution, with a lot of noise. We don't know really. Time sense cannot be there. You will get stuck. Sometimes in Madhya Kailash, 1 hour, 2 hours also you will get stuck. Sometimes when you're seeing the rains coming in, water logging will be there, and then off late we are seeing a lot of dengue or things like that is happening, because see, when you grow in a place, you should have a proper solid waste management, should have proper sewerage treatment. Today people are only buying a house, they are not buying a community. They are not buying the external infrastructure. They are not buying into greenery. They are not buying into a smart water, smart solid waste management, smart energy, smart environment. I think people have to realize it's not a house where I can get into a good house with air conditioned place, but when you go outside the door, especially now, people would like to look at beyond the life.
When there is a kind of challenging times, how you face it? What's your motivating philosophy?
When you choose the journey of entrepreneurship, I think ups and downs are part of an entrepreneur, because it cannot be always because entrepreneurship is risk taking. And entrepreneurship is something which the society requires, and it is not available on the table. No, it is that you need to create something that has to be accepted by the public at large, and then it has to generate required cash flows. It has to generate you need to have right team, right cash flows, right product. So most of the things are futuristic. Most of the things are okay. How much is in your control? how much is not in your control, is the way your entrepreneurial journey give you that experience, what mistakes you have done. It's a continuous learning, and definitely being taken up a projects which are larger than life, and then very high capital intensive projects. I think we have gone through a challenging times, and those challenging times, only one thing very clear in our mind is that we choose to be an entrepreneur. We need to, because see, entrepreneurship is a lot of stakeholders. You have a government. It's a government. You are responsible. You are society, you are customers. You are responsible to investors. You are responsible to the bankers. You are responsible to your family, your employees. So I think it's a complete. You are responsible to complete ecosystem. So you cannot simply, once tough time comes, you cannot simply cannot leave the ground. You need to be there and see what best you can do with your learning.
Who is your role model in business life?
You see, J.R.D. Tata is a great person, where he has really developed balanced development in terms of taking the society, the employees, the government, and all the culture, the values, which he has really built. Today it is one of the very greatest organizations, which still, that's a good inspiration for everyone. I mean, that's
So one interesting thing I know that last year on your birthday you ride a cycle from here to Karaikal Port. So what was that? What you want to communicate to the world?
See, it was just thought came in just 2 days before that, because it's one is the port completed the 10 years of operations. I've just, I might have gone on that 270 kilometers road so many times. I thought if you travel, by cycle, you can just actually remember a lot of things, how this whole thing started. And most of our projects are on that road only. Swarnabhumi is on that road, or Pondicherry, or Karaikal.
How long it took for you?
Yeah, 8 o'clock evening I started, and then whole night I was cycling. Pondicherry at 2 o'clock I took some rest, 1 hour, and then I started. It was very, so all the remembrances.
Any interesting things you have seen there, like it could be interacting with people, or you saw something?
It was very, very, interacting with the small shopkeepers, and then
You interacted with them.
interacted with them when you stop there, taking some tea and water, or some having little things. It was really very nice to, because they always cheer you up. When you're going on a cycle, all the kids will come and do that, and it's a very good journey, because you have the complete in that road. You have Mahabalipuram, the historical place, and then you have Kanchipuram around that place. We have Swarnabhumi, then you have Auroville, then you have temples like Chidambaram temple, which is very significant, and then you have, essence of the place is the essence of the whole places around that is very significant. So it's, you are on your own, so no disturbance, 13 hours, 14 hours, you can just get into the thoughts, and it's really a good experience.
Very good. Final question, sir, like this post-corona, if people have to change something on the daily life, some habit which will connect to the sustainable living, what are the things you will say that?
People always has to look at what is that before corona you are, and what is that after corona you are. I think you have a good 21 days time to think, what is that I need to be after this, for good, not for any. I think it's a great opportunity for everyone to realize their potential, realize their limitations, and work on the limitations and work on the potentials. I think.
So you were talking about discoveries from yourself. Any new discovery from your wife?
I think always we had like, it's not that with my family members. I think everybody has that perceptions and little bit issues where we never gone into the deep into any understanding of each other, or why reflecting each other. So because we were always on something. next hour what to do, tomorrow what to do. I think in the process we never understood the relationships. I think with my, I think now it's too late maybe. It's too late maybe. I think it's a
So this Corona days has given a lot of understanding.
lot of insight. Even I'm telling you, in my the business perspective also is changed for me. I mean, I would say now I think, okay, you should have dealt that issue like this. You know, things could have been different. If I dealt this issue differently, the team building, you know, how we have to work, create, no, realistic. At the end of the day, I think, you know, this kind of a gap will give us to really take out lot of masks which you are having it for yourself, you know, where you can cleanse it and see, oh, this is what true you are. And then once you realize that, I think things will automatically shape up better.
Very interesting, sir. Thanks for your time, and you are a visionary person, like especially focusing on green city or city of wisdom. So let this dream come true. Thank you very much for your time, sir. Thanks a lot. Namaste.